Sometimes a smart home is not about turning on and off your lights, but rather how comfortable you are in your home. In order to do that, you need some way of monitoring your home's temperature and humidity. Enter SwitchBot, giving you two different options to choose from. One with a screen and one that can be used indoor and outdoor. Sound interesting? I'm Wanderer001. Let's get into it. To start things off, SwitchBot did reach out to me and provide me the Thermometer and Hygrometer Plus and the indoor-outdoor Thermo-Hygrometer for the purposes of doing a review. Starting off, as I said, you get two different options. First being, we will concentrate on the Plus. This is your indoor meter, which has a very large 3-inch face on it, which will display your temperature and humidity, as well as battery life, whether it's connected to Bluetooth, and then up here, a comfort level, letting you know comfortable to dry or overly humid. The Meter Plus is 2.5 by 3.11 by 6.8 and weighs only 2.26 ounces. If we come around, you'll see there's not a lot to look at. Over here on the side, this is actually where your meter is going to get its data readings from. On the back, there is a place that you can hang this up via the included mounting hardware, as well as this little button right here. If I flip this around, will switch your screen from Celsius to Fahrenheit. And then right here, if I flip this open, that's going to be for your included AAA batteries, but also a nifty way that you can place this so that you can view it. Also, this on the back here is a magnet, so you can, with the included 3M tape and metal backing, magnetize this to somewhere. Or you could just magnetize it to a refrigerator or location as needed. The indoor-outdoor meter is 2.4 inches by 1.1 by 0.8 and weighs only 20 grams. If you look at it, there's not going to be anything that you're going to see on this letting you know what the actual humidity or temperature is based on the device. Looking at this, this is a meter that needs to connect to the application in order for it to actually be functional because it does not have a screen on the front. But because it doesn't have a screen on the front, it has an IP65 weather rating, allowing it to be used both indoor and outdoor. This little hole right here is actually how it senses the humidity and temperature. It does include a handy dandy little nylon strap, allowing for easier placement. In my case, I wanted to test it out and put it in the most humid spot that I could think of in my house, so I hung it in my bathroom. If we come around to the back of this, there is a door panel right here, and underneath this door panel, there is a weather gasket allowing water to not get into the device itself. It is also powered by two included AAA batteries. If we are talking about the humidity and temperature readings from this, both meters have Swiss sensors that read for the Plus every 10 seconds or for the indoor-outdoor every 4 seconds. The Plus has a temperature reading ability of -4 to 176 degrees and a humidity rating of 0 to 99% RH. Your indoor-outdoor has a rating of 32 degrees and up to 149 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity range of 10 to 90% RH. The battery life on either device is 2 years, which is absolutely great considering the fact that you are also getting batteries included with these meters. Both of them can operate over Bluetooth, having a range of up to 400 feet from your smartphone. However, if you have a SwitchBot hub, reviewing the corner for the one that I have, you'll be able to use both of these over Wi-Fi, allowing you to, when you're not home, monitor the temperature and humidity in your house, which makes that extra accessory almost invaluable because not only can you monitor your home when you're away, you can get push notifications should things get too humid or too hot in your house. In order to use either of these with the app or with the hub, we have to set them up. So let me show you what setup was like for the Plus and the indoor-outdoor. Setup of the SwitchBot indoor-outdoor Thermo-Hygrometer. Have your SwitchBot app, create your account, come up to the plus sign, select add a device, and then we're going to scroll down until we get to our sensors. And this is technically an outdoor sensor, so we will need a hub, which I do have already. So we will select add. What we're going to do now is flip this over. I already took off the back panel. There's a little piece of plastic covering your battery connections and you do already get 2 batteries in here. So we're going to hold down the button till an indicator light flashes, which is kind of hard to see. But if we flip it over right there, indicator light is flashing. So we'll select next. And then here is the name of this device and what room we're going to put this in. I can pick a room, which I don't have any rooms listed. So I will create a room, give the room a name. Figure we'll test this out in the bathroom. Great place to check humidity. Done. So now I'm going to say we're going to put this in that room, and it's letting me know that there's nothing there. We're going to hit save. Going to select back. Wants me to put it in a room. It's going into the bathroom, and then OK. Going to select next, and it has been added successfully, and I'm going to select done. And then here it's giving me some preliminary readings off of this, but I have been kind of holding it, so those readings might not be totally accurate. But that was setup of the SwitchBot Indoor-Outdoor Thermo-Hygrometer. This will be the setup process for the SwitchBot Thermometer and Hygrometer Plus. You're going to want to come over and have your SwitchBot app and account created. We're going to come up to the plus sign and then select Add Device. From here, we're going to scroll down until we find Sensors. And here we're going to say Meter Plus right there. And it's letting us know how to do this. First things first, you will have to flip the device over, open up your back panel here. I already removed the door, but you're going to want to take this little piece of plastic off of your batteries so that it actually will function. And then you can replace the door just like that and then close things up. Notice now it's reading, but we need to press this back button until a Bluetooth logo flashes. And there we go. Bluetooth logo is flashing. We're going to select next. And now it's going to look for our device, which I am holding upside down. And then we have our Meter Plus, and then we can select where we want it to go. Now it does want us to pick a room, but I'm going to have to create a new room for this since I have a bathroom with a sensor. I'm going to create a room called basement and then select done. Here we've got our basement. I'm going to select back. Now I have to select the room I want. I don't want it in the bathroom. I want it in the basement, and then I select OK, and then I select next. And just like that, it has been added. I select done. So here we have our bathroom temperature and our bedroom temperature. And notice it's letting me know, hey, things are a little wet in the basement, but that's because I have it in my hand. So it's getting a little sweaty. And then here we can change some of the setup. So if we don't like the unit, I can change that to Fahrenheit. That was the setup for the SwitchBot Thermometer and Hygrometer Plus. As you saw, setup not terrible for either of them. It's fairly straightforward. But because one of them only has the screen, the other one does not, and you only get limited data on the Plus's screen here, the application lets you do so much more and see so much more data. The app, I will say, for both the Plus and the Indoor-Outdoor is exactly the same. So whether you're looking at the Plus or the Indoor-Outdoor, the application and its functionality as a meter will look identical. So let me show you what that looks like. This is the application for the SwitchBot Thermometer and Hygrometer Plus and Standard, the small one. You can see right here, I actually have both of them in my SwitchBot app. And I will say the application is the same for both of them. So whether you're here for the Plus version or the standard Indoor-Outdoor Thermo-Hygrometer or Thermometer and Hygrometer, you'll get the same information here for both of them. Notice at the top, I have a home, and this is set up for climate within my home. And it's kind of doing an average between the two, but right now it is kind of grabbing the information from there. You can see I have 2 separate areas within my home set up, but we're going to, for the purposes of this, utilize the one that I have in my bathroom, which is the Indoor-Outdoor. Right there at the top, you notice that it does do a quick load up of information, whether you're within Bluetooth range or if you're using the SwitchBot Hub. At the top, you could see it will show you the temperature and humidity, which is something that we could see on that first page, but we also see absolute humidity, dew point, vapor pressure, and then the last time that this was updated. If we scroll down a little bit, you'll notice that we have a chart, and that chart will allow us to see hours, days, and then here we can see things are actually moving because the particular sensor that I'm using is in my bathroom. So I kind of put it in there to get humid and temperature changes. We have week, and you can see right there, kind of short week, but I can zoom in by pinching and zooming if I want to. And similarly for month, if I wanted to, I could simply pinch in and get a close-up. You also have a year. Haven't had this a year, so I can't show you that graph, but we also have a date. So if I come here and I select a date, it will show me information for that specific day. If we scroll down, we also will get charts and graphs for our humidity, showing us the average and the min-max, absolute humidity, average, min-max, but notice this one has a toggle. So I can select this to not show that particular graph if I don't care about that information. Any one of these that you want to know more about, there's a question mark right there. Simply select the question mark and it will give you information as to what this particular metric is actually measuring. We'll scroll down. Here we have dew point, average, min, max, and you can see the lovely chart there. And then our vapor pressure, average, min, max, again, has that toggle. And then here we have our summary showing that for this particular meter, it has done a total of 3,087 records, and its last recording time was pretty much right when I opened up the app to show you this information. I can select to load more data, which will either grab 68 days worth of data from the individual meter or 2 years worth of data from the cloud if you have it attached to a hub. I'm going to select not right now. I also have the ability to export this data, and I could select exporting every minute all the way up to 24 hours and then a specific start time and end time. And this will export the data in a CSV file for you to look at and really delve into if you wanted to. You also have the ability to clear your data right from here. Wipes everything out. If we scroll back up to the top, that's everything that the sensor itself shows us. But if we want to make changes to the sensor, we come up to the sprocket icon right here in the upper right and select it. Right here we have our name. So if I select this, I can change the name, its location, either in a home or a separate home, as well as a room within that specific location. Desired condition, if I select this, will allow me to set up alerts for temperature, humidity, absolute humidity, dew point, and VPD alert. If I toggle this on, what it will do is send me a notification if temperature exceeds a set point of value on here. I can also select inverse, meaning instead of if it exceeds this set point, so here or here, it would do the inverse, so it would be in between rather than this way. Notice it's showing you where the red is, letting you know that's what's going to send you a notification. And you could do this for each of these. You could pretty much be notified for just about any condition in your home if you wanted to. I also have the ability to calibrate. If I select this, I can calibrate the temperature or calibrate the humidity. If I select calibrate, it's going to walk me through the methodology behind doing this, and then it'll allow you to calibrate via plus or minus. Notice right now it's showing the stated value of 68, and I could say, well, I'll calibrate this plus or minus X degree. And you can do that for humidity as well. Coming down, you have your comfort level. Here you can see you have human, which is generally what it should be at, and then custom. Notice right now, both of mine are exactly the same. But if I wanted to, I can change the range of what I consider comfortable. It'll let me know dry humidity is lower than ideal humidity, comfortable temperature and humidity are comfortable, and then humid, too much moisture in the air, and then you could select save. Coming down, you have cloud services. If you did not, when you were setting this up, select cloud services, this is how you could come back and attach this device to your SwitchBot hub. You also have the ability to attach it to Google Assistant, Alexa, and IFTTT. NFC, if you wanted to set up NFC triggers, this is where you would do that. You have FAQ, so any information that you want to know about your SwitchBot device, you can find there. Firmware and battery level. Selecting this will show you how much battery you have left and the current firmware. And then device info, which is going to have sensitive information, so I won't show you that. And then down here, you have your delete. If you want to remove this, that has been everything that you could do in the SwitchBot app for both the SwitchBot Thermometer and Hygrometer Plus and indoor-outdoor Thermo-Hygrometer. One of the great things that you can do with these meters if you're in the SwitchBot universe is you can set up triggers and routines based on temperature getting too high or humidity getting too high. If you've got a SwitchBot bot, which is just a simple way of toggling a button on or off, if something gets too humid or too hot, you can toggle a fan to turn on to help dissipate the heat or humidity. Or if you happen to have the SwitchBot hub, like I do, then it has an IR blaster. So what that could do is if the temperature reaches a certain level, the IR blaster can turn your air conditioner on, cooling your home. That's one of the things about being in the SwitchBot universe that makes these invaluable if you have other SwitchBot devices. If you don't have other SwitchBot devices, they both are compatible with voice assistants like Google Home and Alexa. You can request data from these two voice assistants as to the humidity and temperature ratings. Chances are, if you're like me and getting something to monitor the environmentals of your home, you enjoy data. And the beauty of both of these devices is you can export the data that they are gathering if you want to. Both of them will export the data into a CSV file, allowing you to really dig into what information it has gathered, as well as keeping a record of that. On device, you can have up to 68 days of data, so if you want it after that, you have to export it. Or if you have a hub, you can have up to 2 years worth of data. Again, another plus if you consider getting that SwitchBot hub. The downfall that I can find for these particular devices. One, on the plus, around the back here, I wish this was a stronger magnet so that you didn't have to rely on that sticky tape with the 3M magnet to help put it in place. Another thing is, these rely heavily on being invested in the SwitchBot universe. If you're just looking for a environmental meter and you have something like a Nest thermostat or an Ecobee thermostat, those do have environmental meters that you can use also, but they're not as versatile as the indoor-outdoor because you can place this in locations that get just completely drenched. Something like the SwitchBot Plus and the SwitchBot Indoor-Outdoor could be what you're looking for. Whether you need a screen, need something that's a little more placeable to tell you what the current conditions are in your indoor or outdoor living space. And these would be a great option, especially if you have other SwitchBot devices and can set up actions to happen based on either the temperature or humidity settings. If this sounds like what you have been looking for in an environmental monitoring IoT device, I will have a link where you could pick one up for yourself in the description area below. If you appreciate the time and effort that goes into making a comprehensive video like this, make sure to hit that like button to help other people find the video as well. If you like what I'm doing here and want to be notified of my next review, hit that subscribe button. Looking for more items from SwitchBot? On screen now, you will see 2 other SwitchBot products that I have reviewed to help you make a more informed decision for yourself.